But so yeah, I gotta go to Ken's house and confiscate my stuff because he had all my goodies, all my little Tupperware little things like this at his house. What I do with the spoon? Somebody said you put it over there on the chicken. So. I didn't know I still had all these leftovers because hell, they should have been eating this shit and I shouldn't have been cooking nothing else. My kids like chili beans. Yesterday, they're like, Mom, make some more chili beans. I went on to make them damn chili beans, but forgot all this shit was in here. Yeah, they gonna, that's some bullshit. My kids do not like to eat leftovers. And it's like, where they do that shit at? You know, oh shit, that's gonna overflow. It's like, what kids don't eat leftovers? But you know what? I don't eat them either. I don't really like leftovers. I know that's easy or whatever, but I don't really like leftovers. You hear me say, after I get done with Black Friday, go get me a burrito. Because I just don't like leftovers. I really don't. Now, the dressing, I'll get at the dressing a little bit. You know. But I don't really like leftovers, y'all. I'm sorry. I just don't. So, but I encourage my kids to eat them. You know what I'm saying? I do. Because I don't want them, you know, with no real fucked up ass habits. Because I know my eating habits is poor as fuck. My eating habits is raggedy as shit. I'll be the first one to say that shit. My eating habits is poor. You know, and I'm constantly on Jodae. Though secretly, I admire her for the way she eats. But I be, you know, trying to give her a hard time and shit. Because she don't fuck with real bacon. She like that turkey shit. You know, she eats a lot of salmon and all that other kind of little... Nigga, that's some... I don't like it. I'm sorry. I like my... you know, when your palate is programmed to get down with certain things, that's just what you roll with. You know, if you grew up and your mama put sausage and shit in the spaghetti, nigga, later on in life, you like sausage with spaghetti in it and sausage and you know, in the sauce and shit. You know, and see, my mama didn't, she didn't put that in her spaghetti. But you know, a lot of my friends, mama put that in the spaghetti, so that's what they used to eating it. With Italian sausage and shit crumbled up in it and shit. And growing up, shit, my mama, woo, bless her soul. She would even fry salt pork, y'all. She would fry slices of salt pork and eat it like bacon. Like, you know how like they got the block of salt pork and you could buy it whole or you could buy it already pre-sliced. Those ones that's pre-sliced. Y'all, I know it's sad. I know somebody is looking just shaking their motherfucking head. But yeah, my mama liked real fattening and shit. She really, really did. And when my mom passed, she passed of a heart attack. She passed of a heart attack on the 11th of November, 2007. And she passed with my kids in the bed with her. So I'm just have a different little sensitivity about mothers and, you know, and stuff like that. And that's why yesterday I was going on a little tangent on Facebook, is because, you know, I was just, you know, I was reflecting and I was thinking about, you know, me growing up and, you know, the holiday time and how, you know, my mama laid out the spread for us for Thanksgiving. And, you know, and I was having a talk with Jodae and her and I was talking and, you know, and I just was like, you know, what are you guys going to do for the holidays and what mama going to cook? And, you know, I'm so excited and just so full of it for her because her mom is still living and such, you know, and it's like, you know, I don't know. Anyway, back to the regular scheduled programming. So, but yeah, I meant everything I said yesterday on Facebook because y'all know motherfuckers will come to the motherfucking house and eat up a gang of shit and bring friends and shit with them and then take some shit home. See, I don't, nah. I have to say, even when my mom did cook and I had Tony and me and Tony would come over, you know, for dinner and such, I can't say that I ever was one of those, you know, that go in there and make a whole bunch of plates and shit and take it to the car and all that shit and then come back and make my plate that I'm going to eat right now. I never really did that, you know. A lot of my family members did, but I never really, you know, I never really got down with that. It's like, you know, have some sympathy. Well, not so much as sympathy, but, you know, have some respect for the hostess, you know. And when you're going to Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner, all that little intricate shit costs money. You know, they have to buy extra eggs to make all those cakes and pies. And, you know, for a pecan pie, you know, for one bottle of K-Roll syrup, you know, that's 6 eggs per bottle. So, you know, shit, when you making Thanksgiving dinner, you got to buy like 2 or 3 dozens of eggs. When you making pies and cakes and give it gravy and all that other shit, all that shit, you know, all those little intricate things cost money. You know, even to the little tinfoil roaster pans, the extra napkins and paper plates and spoons and forks and all that shit costs money. So when you go into somebody else's house, keep that shit in mind. Don't just be coming empty-handed and ready to get down and start eating. You know, somebody had to prepare this. They had to prepare their home for you to come there and enjoy this moment. They had to, you know, wash up extra shit, probably clean up the house a certain kind of way, move shit around and all that kind of shit, bring out the nicer this and that for y'all's asses and shit. And motherfuckers come over there and eat up shit and then go home. Let alone not bring nothing. Where they doing that shit at? I got family members that have done it. So I'm speaking from experience. I ain't pointing at no damn body. You know, I don't know y'all circumstances or whatever. But I just think that it is a poor taste to do that. You know, and my belief that I feel, okay, it's me, if it's me and Tony, and we have 3 children, so it's 5 of us. So if we're, say, for instance, going to, you know, somebody's house for dinner, automatically, without thinking, I'm going to give the hostess $50 at least 4 or 5 days prior to the event. Plus, I'm going to bring something with me. You know, even if I don't do shit but bring me, let me show y'all this gallon of punch concentrate. Because I was talking about it on Facebook yesterday. Hold on. I put it in the refrigerator because I had some ants. And I don't want the ants to come back. But yeah, this fruit punch, what you call it? Yeah, this makes a whole gang of drinks. You know, and growing up, my mama used to make punch concentrate, mix that shit right there with some pineapple, the big pineapple, what you call? Then they used to spike it sometimes with a little alcohol a little bit, and we used to act like we, you know what I'm saying, we didn't know, and or we was watching them when they doing it, you know, shit like that as kids or whatever. But yeah, another cardinal sin, okay? If you indulge in whatever your get down is, and however way you roll, it ain't my business. Just get your head changed. However way you get your head changed and twist your shit back, that's cool. But have your own shit. So how you gonna be in the rotation and you ain't putting nothing on it? That's what I was saying on Facebook yesterday. You know, because there are people that will do that. Kenny was one of them. When I first met Kenny, he was ragged in the motherfucker. I'm like, wow. We went to Compton to his cousin's in them house. You know, at the time, his mom was in the hospital down there at Harbor General. And, you know, they had like a dinner and stuff at his cousin's house in Compton. So we all go and shit. You know, I didn't know him. He was introducing me to him at the time, you know. I think I had only seen him like one time prior to that. So, you know, I was a new chick on the block. And, you know, so everybody watching me, seeing what I eat, how I sit, how I'm dressing, if you can see a track in the front, all that shit when you the new chick. And so, you know, they began to drink and, you know, and twist them one up. And here Kenny, he didn't bring shit. He didn't bring no alcohol. And old boy was like, well, I only drink a certain type of Hennessy. And I only drink a certain type of whoop-de-whoop. And I don't know alcohol. I don't know none of that shit. But I recall him saying to Kenny, man, we need to go on a beer run. We need to go to the store. And I felt so embarrassed. I felt embarrassed for not only for Ken, but I also felt embarrassed, and I didn't have shit to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't fucking with none of that shit. I don't drink. I am more of a less than social, more of an occasion, like more of a blue moon type of drinker. I just don't drink. So, but they were out there and they were all drinking and, you know, twisting one. And he didn't bring shit. You didn't bring nothing to the event. But you out here, you know, scratching your nuts and laughing with your mouth pulled open and your head reared back on somebody else's shit. And his cousin called him on it and was like, well, man, hey, look at here, check this out. We need to go on down here off of Willowbrook and go on down here to the goddamn liquor store. Right then and there, it just screwed up the rest of my night. And I let him have it all the way home because I had never been to these people's house. I didn't know them. Me and Kenny had just been together like maybe 2 months. So, you know, was it 2 months? About 2 months. And, you know, I didn't, you know, and at the time, you know, I wasn't even twisting at that time. So I didn't know nothing about twists and nothing else. I just wasn't, I didn't start that until after, you know, I went through surgery and had all that and started having all kind of abdominal problems and throwing up and this and that. And the doctor gave me that option, you know, to help me eat sometimes and to settle my stomach and, you know, and all those types of things. So, but that was, you know, I met Kenny in 2009. You know, I didn't have my surgery and shit till 2010. So, when they were twisting, I was like, phew, this stinks. Like, oh my God, this is, ooh, nigga, y'all need to, oh my God, this is deplorable. You know, I was on that type of shit. And after he checked his ass at the door with that shit, I was just, because I was raised that way. You know, when my parents would have their little big witch tournaments and shit at the house, you know, motherfuckers was bringing shit. You know, and motherfuckers was like, you know, my daddy and them, they like to drink their Crown Royal and all that shit back in the day. So, you know, everybody was putting something on it. And that's just the way it was. That's the way I was raised with it. So when I see people going to other people's houses and you pulling up and you know, tooting and all that kind of shit and pooting, and you ain't brought shit, and you doubling back, and you making plates for your dude to take home, and all this kind of old shit, and you didn't bring nothing? Boo. No. So all I'm saying to you ladies, you know, and I know one of my girls was like, I can't afford, you know, I understand, Tina, what you're saying, but I truly cannot afford to, you know, help out for the meal. And that's fine. If you can't help out for the meal, you know, put in at least $5 per person that you bring in, and, you know, bring a covered dish or whatever, then, you know, bring service. You know, come over the day before. Thanksgiving is on Thursday. Motherfuckers need to be at their mama, big mama, Medea, grandmama, all them. Somebody need to be at somebody's house come Wednesday, helping peel them sweet potatoes for them pies and shit. You know, I mean, all those little intricate things, you just don't know what it does. You don't know what it does, you know, for the cook. It is such a big help, you know, when they don't have to wash the dishes while they're cooking. They don't have to, you know, peel all the, you know, potatoes and onions and celery and shit like that. All those little things like that mean a whole lot to a cook. Because, you know, that's just extra time for them. That they could be on something else. And when they making, for Thanksgiving, let's just face it, most black homes, hell, we making cakes and pies, cobbler, cheesecakes, all kinds of shit. How come you can't, you know, okay, well then I'll make one of the cakes, or I'll make the pies, or whatever. You know, I just think that it's not cool. And it's rather tacky to come to somebody's house, whether it's your mama, your grandmama, and they even tell you that they got it and you ain't got to bring nothing. Still, you need to be doing something. And cooks ain't supposed to be washing the dishes after they done slaved and cooked and been up all night and marinating that ham and, you know, turning it all up in that good glaze and all that kind of shit. And then then here your ass come in, the food ain't ready yet. It's 3 o'clock. Y'all ain't eating yet. How come ain't nobody eating? Nah, that's some tacky shit. You come and because the food ain't ready, you sitting up with a motherfucking attitude. But this woman here, the mother of the house, has been up all night, you know, putting turkeys in Nesco ovens and making German chocolate cakes and picking greens and shit. And you bring your monkey ass over at 3 goddamn o'clock and dinner ain't ready yet and you got your ass on your back. No, it's time for you to go home. It's time for you to go home. Because you don't know, you know, how her feet is hurting and her back is hurting from standing up and slaving over this kitchen all night. You don't know what that is. And a lot of older men, you know, I'm talking about men, you know, 60 and up, you know, 65 and up. You know, they come from a different era. So they like it when their wives and, you know, and things of that nature is in the kitchen and they cooking and they smelling. My father was digging that shit. On motherfucking, and especially on Christmas Eve, shit, we was back there in the back sleeping and I'm hearing Temptations Christmas, you know, playing and the Whispers Christmas and all that old type of shit. And my mama be in there peeling in potatoes and, you know, cooking this and that. And she never one time complained. My mom taught me how to cook. She began teaching me how to cook when I got 8 years old. So from 8 years old on up, there was always something for me to learn around the kitchen. So as I begin to get older, I begin to help. And I was always her prep cook, as she would call me, because I would do all of the cutting and slicing and dicing and getting it all together and putting it in Ziploc storage bags, putting it in the refrigerator, because Mama would always make her dressing on Thanksgiving. She didn't make the dressing the day before because she liked it fresh out of the oven. She never stuffed her turkey. She always cooked her turkey in a turkey seasoning bag, okay? And so the way I cook my turkey now, I do have videos on that so you guys can see the way I cook my turkey and the way I cook my dressing, but I don't stuff the turkey because I like to use the turkey for so many things thereafter that. Turkey sandwiches, turkey salad. Shit, my mom even made some turkey goddamn tacos one time that was bomb with that turkey meat and shit that was left. So there's different things that you can do with the turkey, but once you put the dressing and shit inside of the turkey, then therefore you got to just about eat that up because otherwise it will spoil very easily because of the onions and the celery and all that stuff that's inside of the turkey. So just be a little bit mindful of that. That just was what I was taught. You know, if that's the way y'all do things, that's fine. That's just our tradition. But our tradition is we never stuffed our turkey. We made it separately. And so she would make the dressing the day of Thanksgiving. You know, because she would always, my dad would punch a hole in the turkey bag and would use that pot liquor from the turkey in to season the dressing. So, and I do the same thing, you know, and we still put the cream of mushroom soup and all that other shit inside of the dressing. Bomb. Just bomb. So, anyway, but the bottom line is, we got 1 week. Today is Friday. You got 6 days. 5 days. Okay? You got 5 days till, 5 days till, Wednesday. Y'all need to be at somebody's house helping on some real shit. You know, you already coming and you bringing your kids and they gonna be running and jumping and playing and going through the sodas and all that kind of shit. And stop that shit too. Should stop off and go get a goddamn 12-pack of sodas. You know, everybody like to have something to drink while they eating. Bring something to drink. It don't have to always be alcohol. Bring a 12-pack of sodas, a 6-pack, go by the 99-cent only store. They even got the 4-packs. Get a few of them and bring them to the house. Shit. I mean, I'm just trying to figure this out because it just seems like, you know, a lot of people are into using other people, you know, and not carrying their own weight and shit. And it just looks tacky, and especially, you know, for a woman to have such traits and her kids are going to pretty much do what they see. You know, if they see, okay, well, we go over here and we don't have to bring nothing, such and such is cooking. They said we ain't got to bring nothing, so we can all go over there and eat. No. You know, and folks going in and out of the other folks' refrigerators and shit, I just don't like all that. I don't. Now, when I host something in my house, you know, we have an event or whatever, I don't have a problem with you going to my refrigerator. But, you know, kids